Hey guys, it's Danny Bell. Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I thought it would be fun to round out our 90s Kidcore Island with an ideas video. For today's video, we're going to be doing 16 Kidcore ideas for your Animal Crossing island. So if you're looking for inspo for your Kidcore Island or just some fun, colorful town core ideas, this is the video for you. So let's get going. I can't wait to share these ideas. If you're looking for something fun and colorful for your island, let's get going with the countdown. I can't wait to share these fun, colorful build ideas with you guys. First on today's list, we have, of course, a simple yet fun Kidcore Carnival. And of course, this is a staple in the Kidcore category. I know it's basic, but guys, there's always plenty of ways you can turn a Kidcore Carnival into a fun, stellar build. Of course, using the plaza items, be sure to pop over to Harv's Island and customize your items to perfectly coordinate with your build. I went ahead and opted for the pastel color to go with our brightly colored Lisa Frank Kidcore style 90s island. Be sure to use fun and decorative custom designs like this spilled ice cream cone and try new and fun designs like this fun little train station. You can see our villagers even like to try new designs like this. Different things like this can really change up the basic carnival, especially for a Kidcore style design on your island for the beach. Next on the list is a Taco Bell. Now I know this is the type of design that you can also use for a town core style island, and like I said, on this countdown you're going to see lots of builds like this, so fear not. If you're not planning on doing a Kidcore island for the summer, a lot of these builds can be translated for town or city core as well. I love doing realistic builds on islands like this, and so if you're looking to do something like this, try doing a Kidcore style by doing bright colors like this bright orange, hot pink, and purple. You can also do a coordinating interior build. I personally love doing interior builds for villagers. It's a great way to use that space up and do something really creative for your villagers. We went ahead and did this really fun interior Taco Bell build for Fuchsia. She looks right at home here, especially if she wants a midnight snack. Next on the list is a Toys R Us. I mean, who doesn't love this mecca of a toy store from our 90s kid childhoods? I mean, this store was epic. I loved it. It was so much fun. By the way, a lot of these builds on the island of Everbelle are available in the playlist for Everbelle. If you're looking for specific build tutorials step by step, please check out the Everbelle playlist. This particular build I loved. We went ahead and did an interior build for this as well for Stitches. I do have a full tour video if you're interested in checking it out for the island itself on the channel, so please be sure to check that out if you missed it. Here is the interior for Stitch's house, so be sure to do builds like this for your villagers. Again, if you're looking for different ways to fill out the space, I really had a blast decorating the villager houses, and they totally deserve it, right? Those little villagers really do hold a special place in our hearts. You can even do a space like this where you can deck out the roof for the building just to kind of deck out an extra space and create a really great overlook for places like this on your island. Really love how this build came together. Next is a school. I felt like for a Kidcore island, a school was a must-have. I know school is not our favorite place to think about, especially when we were kids, but with the Lisa Frank twist on this Kidcore island, I felt like a bright neon-colored school was just what we needed. So we went ahead and did a fun, kind of scattered type of look for this school. Lots of neon colors, again, with these bright-colored neon doors, and then did lots of fun custom designs again on the ground and scattered papers. We used a lot of the toy items here to create a small little playground, and then even went as far as to create lots of fun outdoor builds. It just goes to show that you don't have to do interior builds to make these islands fun. We created a faux bus using these cutout standees and a little outdoor cafeteria. So like I said, you can always make these fun spaces really unique and Kidcore styled, and they easily translate into fun city core builds if you're looking to switch your island over for fall and winter. Another great way to fill in space on your Kidcore island is to create a sports area or sports complex. This was a really great way to fill in an overlook space behind the school area. I loved creating this baseball field using some in-game padding we created with these cushions, a fun little baseball diamond. You can also take this same space and create other areas to create a full-on complex. We went ahead and used the spaces adjacent to not only create the baseball field, but to create this fun little sand volleyball court. I love incorporating gyroids as well. I just think that with all the movement, and especially it being a Kidcore island, it makes it a lot of fun. You can even create a little space like this little basketball court and create a little refreshment stand over here and even grab a snack for yourself. I love using, again, custom designs like the spilled ice cream cone and then creating a little seating area for guests. Next on the list is this amazing treehouse. Y'all, I loved this one. This had to be one of my favorite builds on the island of Everbelle. I loved using these cutout standees to create this giant faux treehouse. We even did a special little twist on here to make it look sort of like a box fort. So instead of just doing a standard treehouse, we went ahead and used this villager house in the look of these simple panels to create the look of a box/blanket fort for our friend over here. Using bookshelves and lots of actual real trees in the game, it was a really fun way to sort of encase this build. So if you're looking for a step-by-step tutorial, please check out the Everbelle playlist for instructions on how to create a space like this on your island. It's a really versatile build, so again, if you're not considering doing a Kidcore island, this is the type of build that you could for sure translate into another style island going into fall. Here's a peek at the interior of the villager house. I loved how this one came together. Just a really great way to use a lot of basic items in your inventory. And we even framed out the back wall with an accent wall and using more of the cardboard items with the glow-in-the-dark stickers. All in all, really happy with how this one came together too. Next, we did this very simple and easy build with the Dunkin Donuts sign. I really love this little build. Again, a really simple build that you can translate on your island, and what kid doesn't like donuts? I mean, guys, look at these cute little donut stools that we've been dying to use ever since we got them for Happy Home Paradise. I love how this little build came together. You could do something like a drive-through on the side of this building if you wanted to. The interior came together perfectly, and we used an opportunity to use a tiny little room on the back of the player house to do an interior coordinating build for this. I think it's a really creative way to use up those small rooms in your player house if you choose to as well. Another great way to fill out space on your Kidcore island is to create a little music store. I love the bright colors on this particular build. Being that this is a Lisa Frank style island, I wanted to do a lot of rainbow style builds. She uses a lot of inspiration with music notes, and again, doing a coordinating interior build with my player house was a really great opportunity to use up some of that space. Given that we have lots of gyroids in the game, I thought it would be fun to incorporate those, and then of course using a ton of musical instrument items in the game to make it all the more interactive. Next, we also have this Lisa Frank art store. I really love this, and again, since she is an artist, I wanted to do everything bright colored in splatter paint. This was a great opportunity to create a small little strip mall area in the game itself on the island. I was really excited to use this space up because it just goes to show you can create some really great faux buildings on your island without using a ton of space. Using another coordinating space in the player house, you can create another coordinating interior build, as you'll see here, using some of the splatter paint flooring, and then creating a lot of the Lisa Frank style custom design patterns to kind of create the look to go along with the Kidcore theme. I think is really great. Another great build that you could definitely take over to a town core island and coordinating it to maybe like a wine and painting session if you're doing a more refined adult type of island, I think would be perfect. Next on the list, near and dear to my heart, I wanted to create a little dance studio. This was something that was really special to me growing up, and so I went ahead and created this custom design myself. I had a blast creating this space because ballet was really important to me as a child, and so I wanted to create in the last space for our faux building on our strip mall, as well as a coordinating interior build for this as well. I really loved how this one came together, and it gave me an excuse to create this massive dance studio in the basement of my player house. I just loved being able to use all of the different dance clothing items in the game, and then of course for Lisa Frank, adding the cute little garden bunnies here as the dancers in the studio. I feel like it came together perfectly, and I'm really happy with how this one came together. It's just a fun, cute little faux building. Speaking of dancing, we also needed a fun little Barbie club on this island. I was so excited. We went ahead and created Club Barbie by using a ton of these wide display stands, turned around in every direction, and using a ton of simple panels to create this glowing effect on the club. I really loved this one. Using things like the stage flames and of course this confetti machine and our favorite character Barbie over here anxiously waiting to get in line in the club, I think was the perfect touch for this particular build. This build I loved because it was an interactive build. You can actually walk into the club, hang out, do a little bit of karaoke. There's of course a VIP lounge here over in the corner. It was for sure one of my favorite builds. If you want a step-by-step tutorial, please check out the Everbelle playlist. There is a build specifically for this particular club. I just was really thrilled with how it came together, and it looks completely stellar at night. Alright, rounding out one of the last few builds, this was a yard for Julian. I did not do a specific build tutorial for this, but I really love this. This was one that came together using a ton of the tree standees in the winter variety to create the look of clouds for Julian in his yard. Being that he's a unicorn, I wanted him to have a very mystical space. We used a ton also of the glowing moss boulders to look like fluffy clouds, and then a lot of custom design pattern. His interior is also super mystical by using the cloud flooring and placing floorboards and rugs on top of this. You can totally get the effect in his house that he is living in the clouds himself. I loved using the Kiki and Layla bed from the Sanrio series. I just think it was the perfect touch for a stellar guy like him. And then using some of the unicorn plushies, I wanted to give it the look that he was just hanging out in his yard with his besties. Really happy with how this one came together, so I hope you'll find it fun and something that you'll take back to use on your island. Alright, now of course every town island I think needs a fun post office, and given that this was a Kidcore island, I wanted to make this fun and colorful. This one I did not do a build video for, but I wanted to still show it off to you guys, just to show that if you're looking for something fun and different to do on your island, you can still do it Kidcore style. This little space is interactive, you can walk in here, and I even went ahead and used my player mailbox inside the post office, so it's just a fun little touch, especially if you have more than one player on your island. It would be really fun to kind of collect all of the mailboxes here in one space. I used a lot of the cube lights and used a custom design on them to create the look of little packages along with the conveyor belts, and then of course a custom design on the truck, just leaving a lot of little scattered papers over here next to the steel trash cans to look like mailboxes. I think were the perfect touches to kind of pull together this very colorful post office. Alright, next on the list we have this cute little ice cream stand, very basic and a short little build, but using the truck to create the look of a food truck ice cream stand over here, and a couple of the storefronts. Very simple little build that you can put together very quickly on your island. I think this is something that would work really well even for your beaches. So if you're looking for some ideas on what you can put to decorate a rock or a beach area on your island, I think this particular build would work out really, really well since there's no terraforming involved. Very easy, very simple. Next we have an IHOP. I felt like since this was a Kidcore island, pancakes were definitely a must. One of my favorite foods growing up, and IHOP is such a really wonderful, iconic restaurant. I thought it would be fun to give it a classic faux building look using some of the diner tables over here, and then of course using like every pancake item in the game I thought would be fitting. So we went ahead and put all of these items together here, and then using anything that we could, blue to kind of give it pops of color, and then this really super cute eggs and bacon sign over here to kind of tie it all together. I used one of the rooms in my player house to create a small tiny little interactive build inside using polishing items obtained through Happy Home Paradise to give it a few finishing touches. All in all, I was just really happy with how this fun, cute little build came together, and given that breakfast is such a great kid staple, I thought it would be perfect. Next, I wanted to do a small little perspective build for a hotel. I thought this would be a fun build, and using some of the bunk beds and a bunch of the simple panels, I thought it would be great to create a little pool area and a motel, because I feel like vacations were clutch as kids. Something that we all looked forward to, I think, every summer break was going on vacation with our families and friends. And last but not least on our list today, this was the favorite I think for all of us on this island, the castle, the princess castle in the clouds. This was my favorite build by far on Everbelle for the series, and I wanted to save it for last because it was definitely the grand build of the island. So if you do have a chance to come here and visit in person, and I hope you will, please be sure to get to this section of the island. This was a fun build. I did a tutorial on this. We actually did it with the museum, so believe it or not, the museum is back there. Get yourself a ton of the castle items and a couple of Mario pipes, because you can actually travel via pipe to the museum back here to interact with it. I wanted to make sure that you were still able to visit Brewster and check out all of the bugs in the museum, and so this way via the pipe you're still able to check all of that out and still walk around in the top part of the castle. I love being able to use lots of trees and vines to sort of make this very whimsical, and of course more of the tree standees in the winter variety to look like puffy clouds. I went ahead and did a lot of waterscaping in the front of the castle to kind of give it the illusion that it's floating in the sky, and I think we achieved that pretty well. All in all, this again was my favorite build on the island, so I hope that you will give this a try. I think that this particular build has a lot of potential to be used for a variety of different things, so if you're not doing a Kidcore island, I think that this particular build could be used on a cottagecore and lots of different varieties of islands. Alright guys, that is all for this ideas video. I hope that it brought you lots of inspiration, and I hope that you enjoyed this last series that we did on the channel. I had a complete blast doing this 90s Kidcore style island with you guys. It was so fun and colorful, and I just wanted to say thank you so much from the bottom of my little heart to all of my subscribers. Thank you so much for all of your kind comments and encouragement. Y'all really truly do mean the world to me. Don't forget, you can find me on Instagram at Peppy Crossing Play, and if you like this type of content, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing y'all an amazing day. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.